Now, before we continue, let's listen to what Sean himself had to say from behind bars. So one of his relatives uploaded a video of them speaking to him over the phone, and Sean had a message to the world, and this is what he said.
What's up, everybody? It's Sean.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear like that sigh, like, I know that boy's going through it, man.
That man did the YouTuber apology sigh. What's going on, everybody? Today I'm here to apologize for he did the YouTuber apology sigh, bruh. The Julio case. Now, I just gotta say this off Bucks. I do not feel bad for anybody who got arrested, charged because of this case, especially the person we're talking about today, Sean Gathright. This man had a good family, grew up suburban, and somehow got wrapped up in all of this mess. I don't know how, but he somehow got wrapped up in all this mess. He was the driver. He was the solicitor of all the guns. Like, how do you even get here? You are a suburban dude. Well, Kodak Black say I'm a suburban dude. You're a suburban dude. How do you get here? And I know some of y'all have probably seen the viral clips of him being in court, them telling him how much time they're gonna give him, and that nigga literally, you can see his soul collapse in his eyes because he knows his freedom's gone, like, period. Like, your life is over, nigga. It's done for. Let's get into this video. Sean Gathright doesn't realize his life is over. Video by Blackie Speaks. Man, ain't seen this man in a minute, man. Blackie Speaks. But let's get into this video. Let's go.
Now, the other day we spoke about Sean Gathright, a 20-year-old who many people described as a good kid before he became known as a convicted killer. Now, right after I dropped my video, Sean Gathright was officially sentenced to life in prison, alongside the other people prosecutors say were involved in the targeted killing that left rapper Julio.
Look at that gun, bro. What the hell even is that, gang? That looked like a micro AR with an extended clip on it. Like, I mean, not extended clip, an extended muzzle on that motherfucker. Like, damn. He really had these motherfuckers pulling out with some artillery.
Dead. Now, the sentencing aside, there's something else I want to talk about today that's been brought to my attention. Because despite everything that's happened, despite the evidence, despite the life sentence, despite it now officially being decided that he's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars, Sean Gathright still seems to believe that there's some type of future waiting for him outside of prison one day. So this is what's going on. Sean Gathright's family actually created an Instagram page for him. And from what it looks like, they're basically using the page to keep people updated on Sean's situation, post messages connected to him, communicate with...
Again, I wonder how his family feels about the situation. His parents are like, bro, I done raised you to be a good kid, and this is how you repay me? Shit.
I didn't know he had fans, and continue building some support system around him while he's behind bars. Now, members of his family uploaded this post to Instagram where they said the following. Hello, family, friends, and supporters. My name is Sean Gathright, and this is my new official Instagram account where I'll be updating and posting content regarding my journey. Journey? Feel free to reach out. I'll be sharing a message very soon. Thank you to anyone who has reached out with supporting messages, prayers, and or donations. Who the fuck is donating?
Who the fuck is donating to this nigga? His life is completely over, and there is no like, oh, the case was faulty and he didn't do it. There is video evidence. 4K, I mean, not 4K. The camera was like maybe 1080p or 720p, but we have evidence of this nigga doing it. Period. Soliciting the guns, being the driver, all of that. Like, there's no saving him. It's over. It's clip. It's done for. What do you mean you're donating to this man? And also, of course, bruh, anytime someone's in a heap of trouble, they do some bullshit, they do some crazy shit, there's always a goddamn Bible verse right there, bruh. My recent video covering Russell Brand, that man was referencing Christianity and all that stuff. And of course, we know what he did. He was touching on minors. Yeah, every time somebody does something messed up, it's always a Bible verse right here, bruh. It's always a fucking Bible verse.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna give it up to God. Sure, nigga, sure.
And I haven't given up on myself or my future. Neither has my family, my girlfriend, or my friends. Consider it pure.
You still got a girlfriend after this? I ain't gonna lie. If I'm her, I'm jumping ship. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm her, I am jumping ship. Fuck being loyal, bruh. Life in prison? Oh yeah, I'm moving on, bruh. Next partner. Let's go.
Joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces patience. Let patience finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And honestly, reading all this feels surreal once you remember that this is somebody who was just sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison. Like he's literally never going to see the light of day. Because the tone of these messages almost feels hopeful.
He'll see the light of day, but it'll be through some fucking prison bars. And that's it. Period. Now, he ain't seeing a city again. He ain't seeing no Nobu. He ain't seeing no Louis Vuitton again. He ain't seeing none. He ain't seeing no Chargers. He ain't seeing no Hellcats. He's not seeing a CTSV. He ain't seeing nothing. It's over.
Like this is some obstacle he's eventually gonna overcome one day. And here's where things get even more interesting. There's now reportedly a GoFundMe page connected to Sean's family as well.
What? Again, what are y'all raising this money for? This man is a killer and he's in jail. What is this money gonna do? I mean, his family might put it on his books, but knowing how shiesty family get when it comes to money, they might use it on themselves.
Fundraiser said the following. Dear friends, family, and supporters, this is a fundraiser on behalf of Sean Gathright's family. Sean is only 20 years old and is currently facing the fight of his life after being convicted in a case that has completely changed the course of his future. Anyone who truly knows Sean knows he is not the person being portrayed in this case. Sean is deeply loved by his family, friends, and community. And during this difficult time, we are asking for support to help his loved ones navigate the emotional and financial burdens that come with the situation. Donations will go toward supporting Sean's family and ensuring they're able to remain present and supportive throughout this process. We know Sean beyond the media portrayal and continue to believe in
them being present and supportive throughout this process requires money. Oh boy.
His heart, his humanity, and his potential for growth. We believe every young person deserves the opportunity for redemption, healing, and the chance to become better.
Yeah, redemption when they lied on a test, lied about something else. Hell, even redemption when maybe they might have cheated or something. But death? You killed a nigga? For no reason? There is no redemption for that. People use this redemption word for the worst possible people. I saw somebody commenting under the David case and they were like, this young boy needs redemption. He needs healing. No, send that nigga to jail. Hell, take this nigga off the earth. Some of these niggas need to get taken off of the earth. And this doesn't just mean, some of these niggas black people. No, I mean, some of these people that have done these fucked up things need to get taken off the earth, bro. PDFs need to get taken off the earth. Grapists need to get taken off the earth. What are we talking about here? Redemption and healing? No! There is video evidence of this man doing this. No amount of redemption, healing, God is going to save this man. It's over.
More than anything, we ask for prayers, compassion, and support for everyone affected. Fulio was definitely affected here. No donation is too small, and even sharing this fundraiser means more than you know. We believe God is still working, even in seasons of pain and uncertainty. As difficult as this road is, Sean still has people who love him deeply and refuse to give up on him. Thank you for taking the time.
As soon as if I'm one of his family members, bro, as soon as I hear the life sentence, I'm giving up automatically. I'll see you every 2 weeks, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Check up on you type shit. But that's really it. That is really it.
Read our story and for supporting us in any way you can. Now, I'm not trying to snitch or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure GoFundMe has policies against raising money for certain violent crimes related to legal situations. So seeing all this publicly circulating online right after somebody
is that the reason why Chud the Builder did his whole donation thing on Give, Send, Go and not GoFundMe because they had different policies? I wonder if that's the case. I do wonder if that's the case because I'm hearing all this now. If Chud the Builder was to go on GoFundMe, I'm pretty sure he'd probably be like taken off because he's going through a legal situation. I don't know though.
It's a life sentence for traveling to another city, tracking another person's movements, and then allegedly participating in an ambush where a vehicle.
Oh wait, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. Sean Gathright isn't even from Florida. I mean, not that he isn't from Florida, but he's not from the city where Fulio was at, where Fulio was residing, bro. This nigga drove from a whole nother part just to do this. Like, goddamn.
Sprayed with bullets and somebody ended up dead is honestly wild to watch unfold in real time. Now, before we continue, let's listen to what Sean himself had to say from behind bars. So one of his relatives uploaded a video of them speaking to him over the phone, and Sean had a message to the world, and this is what he said.
What's up, everybody? It's Sean.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear like that sigh? Like, I know that boy's going through it, man.
That man did the YouTuber apology sigh. What's going on, everybody? Today I'm here to apologize for he did the YouTuber apology sigh, bruh. God damn.
What's up, everybody? It's Sean. I'm just reaching out to y'all, just to give y'all a quick update about my situation. Right now, they got me in confinement. It's just a protocol thing after Friday, but I should be out of here soon. And reaching back out to everybody. I've seen, I've heard that a lot of y'all have been reaching out to my Instagram page at the official Sean G. This is my real page. This is the page that I will be, communicating to the outside world from, through my management team and stuff like that.
Management team? What? This nigga went to jail. There's evidence of this nigga doing the crime, and he has a management team? What the They got me sounding like that dude from that one video. Stop sign. Bro, management team? A fucking management team? All right.
What?
The management team and stuff like that. I really appreciate all the messages and, all the comments and the likes and the shares and the donations. It means more than y'all can understand. Like, it truly means a lot in a difficult time like this. You
put yourself in a difficult time, by the way. I just want this nigga to know that you put yourself in this difficult time.
We all know that God has the last word. And I just really appreciate y'all for seeing me in a different light. Y'all will be hearing from me soon. Like I said, I just have to get out of confinement, take a couple days, but I appreciate y'all. I love every single one of y'all. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Now, just to clarify something, when Sean said, I'm going to be out soon, he's not talking about getting out of prison. He's talking about getting out of confinement, not prison itself. So he was basically saying he expects to eventually be moved out of that isolated confinement setting. Not that he believes he's
they got him in ISO
from prison tomorrow. At least that's what I gathered from what he said. But even with that clarification, listening to that young man's voice, it's not even that he sounds hopeful. It's that listening to him speak, it almost feels like he's disconnected from the severity of the reality he's actually facing.
He sounds delusional. That's what I was trying to pinpoint. I was like, okay, he doesn't sound like this. He doesn't really sound sad. He doesn't really sound like remorseful. He sounds delusional. And maybe that's just his body's response, his mind's response to this whole situation. His mind has to make him delusional because if he realizes the severity of what's going on and the fact that you're never getting out, like you're gonna live here and die here, his whole body will probably go into overdrive, bruh. He'll probably try to kill him. I can't even say that. He'll probably try to off himself in prison.
Especially when you factor in the GoFundMe page, the new Instagram page, and then now he's talking about management and future plans. Like, what? Wow, this young man was just sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison. That is a confirmed fact, okay? When most people hear that somebody received a life sentence, they imagine somebody completely mentally destroyed. I mean, at this point, you would think that he wouldn't even be able to think straight. Like reality has finally crushed him.
And he looked a little destroyed when he first heard, like, oh yeah, you're getting life in prison. But after that, I guess his mind just went into delusional mode and it just took that out of it. And now he thinks that somehow, some way, he's going to be a free man. And I'm all for delusional optimism when it comes to your goals, you know, whether that's, you know, getting your clout up, becoming a YouTuber and an influencer, getting your finances up, going into this job that you want, going into this field that you want, becoming a doctor, doing this, that, and the third. But when it comes to this situation, I'm gonna need you to lock into reality real quick, bro, because it's clip. It's over for you. It's grits. It's hash browns and sausage, bro. It's over with. You are going to spend the rest of your life in prison because of something you did. You did not have to do all this. Realistically, you didn't. You didn't. And not only that, you grew up in a good fucking home, bruh. You grew up in a good home. The odds were in your favor. And you said, fuck them odds, I'm gonna go do some dumbass shit. And now you're here, in jail. Where you deserve to be for doing some shit like this.
Just for a moment until you realize that this is the reality you have to live for the rest of your life. And that's when I'm sure the adjustment starts. I don't know. I can't relate. Never been to prison. Ain't trying to go, right? But listening to Sean speak, it almost sounds like his brain still hasn't fully processed what his future actually looks like now. And interestingly enough, the reason why they apparently created this GoFundMe page is because they're trying to raise money for an appeal. Shout out to Cuff Boys who screenshotted this. We got to collab, my guy. Shout out to you, man. Somebody in the Instagram comments basically asked what the end goal of the fundraiser was. And according to the response, the money is allegedly meant to help Sean appeal the case. Now, an appeal is basically when somebody asks a higher court to review parts of the trial to see if legal mistakes were made. So that would mean in his case, Sean's legal...
Again, there is video evidence of all of this shit happening. What mistakes could they have made in this case? Like, I don't even know why. Again, this is tying back to his delusional thinking. Why do you need an appeal lawyer? The whole court knows you did this shit. There is video evidence of you doing this. Like,
team would essentially be trying to challenge either parts of the conviction process or the sentencing itself. And here's what you need to know about that. Although
this ain't gonna be like the Boosie case when he beat a body, bruh. He beat a body because there were no cameras, bruh. There wasn't no cameras back then.
The reality is that winning a criminal appeal is very, very difficult. And as a matter of fact, the success rate on an appeal in criminal cases, at least in Florida, is typically less than 7%. And it's estimated that fewer than 1 appeal out of 10 ends up in favor of the appealing party. So basically, around 90% of criminal appeals are unsuccessful. Specifically for Sean, in the kind of situation that he's in, based on everything we know so far, this is not one of those cases where the evidence looked weak. So let's start with Sean taking a stand. Sean Gathright actually got on a witness stand himself and tried explaining his role in this entire case. Moments after jurors reportedly saw him crying in court, Sean took the stand and apologized for his role in the ambush of killing Julio Fulio. And then the prosecution immediately started pressing him hard on the details. And honestly, that boy absolutely got cooked on the stand. I ain't even gonna lie.
Were you remorseful as you were running back with that AR-15 in your hands?
Like I said, I try to remember nothing from that night.
He was basically one of the only people directly involved who actually took the stand during the trial. Now, there was also another woman connected to the case, Alicia Andrews, who took the stand a few months ago. I actually haven't spoken about her involvement in this case. Do you guys want me to make a video on that?
Sheesh, I didn't even know that she was in. There's a lot of people that were involved in the death of this man, bro. Crazy. My friends used to bump his music hella back in like 2022, 2023. Shit brazy. But what's so crazy, in some of his songs, he kind of like predicted his death. Like, really, he predicted his death. And not to mention, like, Fulio's life has been tried multiple times. Like, this isn't like, oh, he like died and this was like the first time of him getting shot. Like, no. Julio Fulio is from Jacksonville, and this nigga has been about that, bruh. This is probably like the upteenth time he's had his life threatened, and this time it it actually happened, bro. Rest in peace.
In the comment section below if you guys want that, okay? But Sean getting up there himself completely changed the energy in that courtroom, because once the prosecution started laying out the timeline and evidence piece by piece, his entire credibility started collapsing. And throughout a lot of the questioning, it didn't really feel like Sean fully confronted the gravity of what happened. But then again, according to prosecutors, this was never accidental. The intent from the very beginning was to kill Fulio, and they planned this very, very, very carefully. At one point, he even admitted that he tried not to remember parts of what happened. And that's what makes an appeal realistically feel very difficult in a situation like this, because once prosecutors are able to lay out that level of evidence, planning and testimony directly in front of a jury, overturning the outcome becomes an uphill battle. Now, the prosecution, they described this case as dripped with premeditation. And honestly, based on everything publicly shown during the trial, it's hard not to understand why they described it that way. These people literally traveled over 3 hours to another city, tracked Fulio's movements online.
Y'all, oh my God. They drove 3 hours, damn near a fucking New York trip. Drove 3 hours to a different city. Tracked Fulio's movements on it. And this is the exact reason. I'm going to just say this now to rappers, influencers, anybody with some sort of clout, because this can literally happen to anybody. This isn't just like a rapper thing. I've seen this happen with influencers and like certain other like celebrities and stuff like that. Bro, if you are going to post where you're at on social media, and this is something that my brothers have like instilled in me like for a couple years now. When you post something on social media and it's like, oh, I'm here, I'm over here, make sure you post that shit when you're already out of there. If you at the mall and you buying some Louis or you getting this, that, and the third, and you want to post about it when you are out of the mall and you're in a completely different direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, post about it when you're home. You know? Do not make a post being like, I'm here, and still be in that same spot when that post goes up, bro. Especially if you have people in the world that want to see you dead, that want to see your life get taken away. This isn't the only case where this has happened. Bro, y'all didn't learn from the Pop Smoke situation, rest in peace. Y'all didn't learn from the P&B Rock situation, rest in peace. Like, how many more people do I gotta name? Like, so to anybody, period, but especially to people who have people in the world who want to take their life, who want to see them fall, all of that. When you post on social media where you at doing these things, make sure you're already gone from that place by the time you post it. If you're at the Galleria, post about it. But by the time you post about it, you should either be home or in a completely different direction from where the gallery is. You know what I'm saying? That is the way it should be. Period.
For his location, located the area.
Because if Fulio did that, we'd be having a completely different conversation today. Completely different conversation.
Airbnb, waited for the opportunity, and then carried out an ambush killing. And afterward, investigators say they found evidence including ammunition, firearm parts, and bags allegedly connected to these suspects. The prosecutors also accused Sean of trying to wipe down his car afterward, and he was seen on this particular surveillance footage right here.
Damn.
And also, there's another part that I actually didn't even talk about in my last video. During the trial, prosecutors reportedly showed the jury a screen recording that Sean Gathright actually took from his own iPhone. Now the recording, I'll put it here to my right side right here.
Oh my
it showed
God.
Sean monitoring Fulio's movements throughout the city while
they were tracking this nigga like the goddamn FBI.
Really checking Airbnb listings, trying to figure out exactly where Fulio was staying that night. So basically, according to prosecutors, he was allegedly jumping back and forth between Fulio's Instagram stories and then going back to the Airbnb app on the Airbnb listings, trying to pinpoint exactly where Fulio was staying that night. Like, he was even going through the filters on Airbnb. You know how like when you're on Airbnb, you can kind of like go through these filters? So Sean was like trying to filter stuff. Like, he was really trying to find out where Fulio was staying. And that, of course, goes way beyond somebody making one emotional mistake in the heat of the moment. Just for all the people out there who are like defending him and saying that, oh, he's a kid, he made a mistake. No. He planned this. It was all planned.
I hate that whole he's a kid shit. This nigga is my age. He's 20 years old, bro. He's a young adult, bro. This is a grown ass man, bro. Not no goddamn kid. Multiple
steps, multiple decisions, multiple opportunities to back out. If you don't know exactly what happened, check out my last video on this. Because at any point during the entire drive, at any point during all that preparation, he could have said, you know what? Y'all a bunch of crash outs, man. I'm not doing this shit. And according to prosecutors, all of the evidence pointed toward the exact outcome the group intended from the very beginning. Sean was allegedly masked up. We seen him on that surveillance footage holding that AK, armed with his rifle, and prosecutors say he actively participated in shooting into that vehicle before Fulio was eventually killed. And what's even crazier is that Sean is honestly kind of lucky that the state didn't get what it originally wanted, because on Friday, a Tampa jury rejected the prosecution's request to recommend the death penalty for the 4 men involved.
So there was a chance that Sean Gathright and his not correspondents, what's the word I'm looking for? It don't matter, bro. Sean Gathright and his people, there was a chance that shit would have been over for them. I said it's grits for him in prison. Nigga, shit would have been finito. Done for. He would have got the death penalty, electric chair. Light him up. Done for. He could have got that. So, shoot, in a weird way, he's lucky to get a life sentence, which is still soul crushing to him and the majority of the world. Like, if I was to get a life sentence for something, I would damn near want to self-delete. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I don't put myself in situations where that happens. Sean, you had every ample opportunity to get the fuck out of there. But you didn't. I hope you got your street cred or whatever you wanted, bro, because now you're in jail for a long motherfucking time.
The state really wanted these men executed, but in the end, the jury instead sentenced Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy to life in prison. These were all the defendants. These are all their names, right? Without parole, after convicting them for the roles in this plot to ambush and kill Fulio. And honestly, it was really interesting watching prosecutors grill Sean the way they did, because throughout questioning, the prosecution kept pressing him on how he felt during different moments connected to the killing. Like, when he was doing it, like, how did you feel? But over and over again, Sean kept responding by saying he didn't remember. At one point, he reportedly told the courtroom, I try to focus on today. And honestly, that statement says a lot, because what else can you...
He pulled the meditation YouTuber route. Focus on today. I am in the present moment. I am here. I am one with the present moment.
Really do at that point. You're cooked. And what makes the story even sadder is that, unlike his other co-defendants, Sean was reportedly never accused of being a gang member. And that in itself is sad, because it's like he threw away his life for nothing.
For nothing.
Involved in any of this shit. Instead, he talked about growing up privileged.
This nigga threw away his life for some fucking street cred and maybe a couple people on Instagram being like, oh my God, he's so hood. Nope. I just realized he basically threw his life away for a couple of niggas. Wow, that's tough. That is fucking crazy.
Traveling overseas, having opportunities. He described himself as gullible and impressionable, which he probably obviously did just to try to see if the jury could feel sorry for him, which they didn't. And he even claimed he now wants to help younger people avoid getting pulled into street life. A little too late for that. And that's what makes this story just hit so much.
Yeah, nah, bro, you're gonna be looked at as a hey, don't do this. People gonna tell the kids, hey, Sean Gathright, do not be like this stupid ass nigga, bruh. This man had everything going for him. He decided to do some dumbass crash out shit, and now he's in jail for life. Kids, don't be like him. Don't be like Sean Gathright. This is the catalyst of what happens when you want to be a street nigga. Period.
Much harder, because this young man literally had everything working for him. Was his life perfect? I mean, I don't know. Nobody's life is perfect.
Yeah.
But from everything we've seen publicly so far, it's undeniable that Sean seemingly had opportunities a lot of people would dream of having. And what's crazy is that even at one point in his life, he He was apparently a huge fan of FaZe Clan. I'm sure you guys know FaZe Clan. They're like these gamers, right? And there's a old photo of young Sean meeting one of the members as a kid. I think it's...
Look at this nigga, bro. And this isn't even to like joke on him and be like, but no, bro, he dead ass looks like a good fucking kid, bro. Sean, why did you do this, bro? Why did you do this, man? Yo, grew up in a good fucking home. Got to meet some people in FaZe. Has some money to his name. Like, damn, bruh. Damn.
Censor. I think that's his name, FaZe Censor. And somehow, despite all that, he still ended up throwing his entire life away for nothing. When he was just like a little kid playing video games and shit. Like, come on, bruh. And I think that's the part of his story that generally intrigues me the most and so many other people. Because this wasn't somebody who seemingly had zero safety nets around him. I mean, this guy had a lot of people who loved him. A family, a support system, opportunities, the ability to travel all around the world.
This reminds me of that one case. It was a 16-year-old, half black, half white kid in LA who, actually, no, I think he was like fully white, but he just had like curly hair. But his family were millionaires, literal millionaires. He lived in the Hollywood Hills and somehow got mixed up in this gang shit, killed somebody. They caught him on tape. He had a Benz. They caught him on tape with that shit. And he's in prison for life. Same as Sean Gathright. I don't know if Sean Gathright's people were millionaires, but this kid's parents were millionaires. Imagine growing up in the Hollywood Hills and you throw all of that away to be a wannabe street nigga, to be a wannabe thug. And I don't feel bad for him. Like, I don't feel bad for Sean Gathright. People in the comments when that video went viral of him getting the sentence, people were like, oh, he's just a kid. Bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. This grown-ass man threw his life away to be stupid. I don't care. That's what it is. That's why I don't feel bad. Do better.
He had all these things going for him, and yet here he is today, sentenced to spend the rest of his life behind bars before he's even really lived his life yet. And honestly, I'll be real with you, I honestly don't think this young man has fully processed what he actually did here. I think the desire to fit in, the desire to follow the wrong crowd, the desire to crash out and feel accepted was so strong that it led him down a path where he willingly participated in something deeply.
He lost his life, lost his freedom for a bunch of niggas, bruh. Wow. He lost his whole being. He will never get his life back over validation and him wanting to fit in with the in crowd. Damn.
Premeditated and irreversible. And that's what makes this situation so disturbing. Because again, this is not one bad decision made in 5 seconds. There were multiple stages to this entire situation. It was an unfolding situation. They were traveling, planning, tracking movements, waiting, preparing. And during all those moments, there were countless of opportunities to walk away.
Wait, hold on. Question. Did they get like money out of this? Like, was there a hit out on Fulio and they were like going to get like some money for that shit? I don't know. And I also don't know if some of these people in this case were like beefing with Fulio or like beefing with his gang or whatever. But imagine doing this. You get no money for it. And now you're in jail forever.
He could have just been like, nah, I'm not doing this, man. Y'all can do it on your own. I'm going home. And I think this whole story just brings up another conversation entirely, which is the reality that all mistakes are not equal. Right? We all make mistakes in life.
Yeah.
Every single person watching this video has probably done things they regret. I definitely have. I could think about some right now. But unfortunately, some decisions are permanent. And luckily, I haven't made one of those decisions. Hopefully, I don't. And here's the thing, right? Taking another person's life is one of
there's a difference between the mistakes that I have made in life. One of them that I can think of off the top of my head was not being as loving as I should have to people in my family that really needed that from me. That's a mistake that I can say confidently that I feel very bad for. That. There's a difference between that and killing somebody over Nen. Sean Gathright had zero beef with Fulio. Zero. And there are some cases where like you kill somebody, but it like had to happen. Like this person was threatening your life. They had a gun. They shot at you. They missed. You shoot back. You made it. You know what I'm saying? But this is a mistake that is unforgivable, unfathomable, unsavable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's over. Plain and simple.
Decisions. Because once that line gets crossed, there's no rewind button anymore. And that's why stories like this are honestly terrifying to watch unfold in real time, but they are so important for the youth to see. Because there's so many young people now who are crashing out and doing all this crazy shit in the streets.
And when you do get arrested, there's no rewind button on that shit, bro. And maybe that's the reason why Sean Gathright is being so delusional now, because in the back of his mind, he knows there's no rewind button. There is no, oh shit, let me go back and fix this shit. There is no Forza Vista, go back and, oh shit, let me not fuck up and crash the car. Like, nah, this is your life now. The little life that you have, like you can wake up, breathe and eat, but that's really it. You're confined to a box. You're confined to a prison. You will never see the light of day. You'll never get to kiss your girlfriend again. You'll never get to say I love you to your mom and your dad again, unless it's like through a phone. You'll never be able to hug them again, you know? You'll never be able to make some money, you know, go buy some shoes, get you a house, get you an apartment. You'll never be able to experience life, go to the beach, go to other parts of the world, see the world. Like none of that for you, bro. It's clip, it's dead because of your actions.
About him every single day on the news. I just don't think a lot of young people crashing out right now generally understand the finality of these situations until it's way too late. A lot of them are living in the moments. I live for today. We outside. We spinning. We active. But the issue is eventually today ends. And then
tomorrow begins.
Up. And now you're sitting inside a prison cell at 20 years old, trying to mentally process the fact that the rest of your life is basically gone. And honestly, is that mindset coming from the music, the environment, the internet, the neighborhood? Like, I honestly could not tell you, right? It's this kind of case, you don't know where it comes from.
You don't know where it comes from. And also, like, I hate when people try to, like, blame the music. It's the same people that try to blame video games. Like, no, that is not the reason why these people are violent, bro. Period. Call of Duty isn't the reason why Connor went into the school and boomed everybody in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just like how Youngboy and Fulio and whoever else you can name, this music isn't the reason why these people are crashing out, bro. Period. A lot of it comes down to validation, trying to fit in with the in crowd, trying to appease these other street niggas. That's at least how Sean Gathright got to this situation. He was trying to appease other street niggas, trying to be down for the cause. I'm with it. I'm for it all. Not realizing that him saying that would be his death sentence. Him saying that would be the last thing he would say before his life got taken away from him. Like he's not physically dead, but life-wise, it's over. Like life-wise, he's dead. Physically, he's not dead, but life-wise, that shit clip.
Hard to like say where it's coming from, but at the end of the day, I think it's coming from the person's spirit. There's people who grew up in the worst environments. A lot of those people are watching this video right now. A lot of y'all had nothing when you grew up. A lot of y'all probably grew up with parents who were like crackheads and shit. A lot of you guys might have slept on a floor.
Bro, my mom and my dad grew up in the hoods, respectively, where they were. My mom grew up in Brooklyn. My dad grew up in racist ass Pennsylvania, bruh. Clarendon, Pennsylvania, bro. Steel Mill Town, all of that. And they rose up and got to where they are now. So it isn't the music, it isn't the games, it ain't none of that. It comes down to who you are as a person, because there are people who were in this street shit, who were really in the hood, who were really, really, really in there, and they got out. They're successful now. They're in a suburban neighborhood. They're doing this, that, and the third. They're probably watching this video right now, being like, damn, damn, damn. He did not have to do that shit. And it's weird seeing the reverse, bro. We always talk about, you know, people from the hood, these low impoverished areas who make it out. But something that we never talk about, but also never really see, are the suburban rich people. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, who go from rich to trying to do shit in the hood, trying to do shit in the streets, and then they end up in jail. It's a weird paradox to think about. It's really fucking weird.
I slept on the floor when I was a kid. I didn't even have my own room, right? But a lot of you guys have really gone through hell and back. But you still made the right decisions in your life. Yeah. At the very least, if you made any wrong decisions, they were probably decisions that only hurt you and not other people.
Yeah.
What I can say is this, right? We're seeing so many young people now who are just willing to throw away their entire futures for temporary validation, temporary approval, temporary emotions, and temporary people who often won't even be there once everything falls apart.
Literally.
In fact, we've seen it proven time and time again that the same people you're willing to crash out with, the same people you're willing to risk your freedom.
Them people that was in the trenches that was like, oh yeah, do this. Are they going to be there for your court case? Are they going to put money on your books? Are they even going to go to visitation and see you? Probably fucking not. They're going to forget about you. So again, stop doing things for people's validation. And this doesn't even come down to like shit like this. This comes down to minutia in life. Don't do things for people's validation. Do shit because you want to do it. Do shit because, you know, this thing makes you happy or whatever. Like, for instance, like somebody will tell you like, oh, get this jacket or like get these shoes because yada yada. But if you don't fuck with the shoes, don't get the shoes. You know what I'm saying? If you know deep down in your heart that you are not about this life, you are not about this street shit, do not let some of these street niggas and some of these niggas that are really about that life egg you on. Don't, bro. Because in the streets there are 3 options, but the third one is really, really rare, bro. The 2 main options are death and jail. The third option is maybe you make it out and you get some money. You know what I'm saying? But for most of the motherfuckers that's really in the street shit, it's death or jail. Period.
To be the exact same people who eventually will turn on you when the feds come knocking. Once the police gets involved, you know, once life sentences get mentioned, once people realize they may never have their freedom again, everything changes. And for Sean Gathright, that reality is now permanent. Because regardless of how hopeful he may sound, regardless of appeals, Instagram pages, support systems, or people saying they still believe that he can get out of prison and live a life outside, the reality is that this 20-year-old young man is now expected to spend the rest of his life behind bars. And that's honestly just tragic no matter which way you look at it. Because it was not supposed to happen. But then again, he's in that situation because of his decisions.
He put himself there.
A lot of people are also bringing up the fact that Fulio himself wasn't a saint. And yes, at some point, maybe there's a broader conversation to be had.
Yeah, of course. I'm not here in this video being like Fulio was a fucking saint. I already told y'all, like, he was in Jacksonville. He was about this gang shit. You can hear a lot of that in his music. People he was hanging around. Like, bro, this nigga was really in the trenches, really in the streets, bro. I'm not here saying Fulio was a saint, but it shouldn't have been like one. I mean, I don't think anybody should have took his life, but it shouldn't have been a motherfucker from the suburbs taking his life. It shouldn't have been that. It shouldn't have been a 20-year-old young adult suburban man taking his life. That shouldn't have been the case at all. At all.
The things Fulio was allegedly involved in throughout his life and career. But make no mistake, when it comes to this specific situation, Sean Gathright and the others involved carried out a premeditated ambush and killed this man. And at the end of the day, that decision not only changed multiple lives forever, but they did not have to do what they did. And they were wrong for what they did. At a certain point, you just got to look at the things that keep getting presented in front of you. This young man, Sean Gathright, just had no real identity of his own. The devotion to looking street, being accepted by people in the streets, wanting to appear tough, wanting to fit into that image.
Like, bro, just be yourself. I am not... Marso Reacts is not a street nigga at all. Period. I am me, myself, and I. I love music. I love cars. I love the finer things in life, you know what I'm saying? Some Mason Margiela here, some Dior here, you know what I'm saying? I love myself and my personality. You know what I'm saying? I'm a funny, weird nerd nigga. That's what I am. And I am proud of me being that. I don't need no validation from no street nigga. Like, bro, no. Be you. And if you don't know who you is yet, find you. But don't try to find you in places that are going to get you killed, places that are going to get you hurt, places that are going to have you end up in jail. Period. Because if you do that, you're going to end up like this nigga. You're going to end up like him. Not realizing how severe this situation is. Sean Gathright, your life is over. It's done for. I want you to sit with that, man. Your life is clipped now. Because you wanted some validation from some street niggas. You wanted to be a part of the in crowd. I want to be like no. When these rappers, social media people, hell, even your own parents say be yourself, they mean that shit. Be yourself. Do not try to follow other people. My mama always told me, be a leader, not a follower. And as a kid, you know, I wouldn't really listen to it too much. But now I realize being a leader gets you out of a lot of situations. Being a follower gets you in situations like this. Being a follower gets you killed. Being a follower gets you in jail. Period. So be a fucking leader. Don't follow people just because it's cool. You know what I mean?
What led him down this path? It was a series of decisions, a series of choices. He could have separated himself from the situation. He could have gone back to the comfortable life and opportunities that were waiting for him at home. But instead, he chose the complete opposite direction, and he decided to slide for 20 seconds, and now it's going to cost him his entire life. Some people are just so desperate to be accepted, so desperate to feel tough, so desperate to feel like they belong somewhere, that they're willing to destroy their own future just to maintain an image. And hey, if he wants to be hopeful,
I don't give a damn about looking tough to somebody, bruh. Call me a bitch. Go ahead. Don't really care too much, bruh. I'm over here making money, living my life, and shit peaceful. I don't gotta worry about a target on my head because I decided to be a fake street nigga.
And all that's completely fine. But brother, you were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And in Florida, that basically means you're never coming home. That's what it means.
Life without possibility of parole. In some states, you can maybe get that parole if you're on good behavior. In Florida, he's finished. It's done.
You're going to grow old behind those bars, and unless something drastic somehow changes legally, you're going to die behind those prison walls until the last drop of sweat equity.
Based on Mr. Gathright.
And you know what's so crazy? There are like older men in prison that are in his position, and they're probably gonna school him on game. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, you dumbass dickhead, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. I'm growing old in prison because I did the same shit you did. I haven't seen my family in this that long because of what I did and what you're doing."
Age, physical abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes. With my experience, not only just in classification, but
they're gonna put his ass to work. Fuck.
As a jail administrator, he's someone that's young. He's healthy. In reality, we need that labor. We need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population. Jail
Holy shit, this man sounds like a gym teacher. We gonna put him to work. We gonna put him to... Yo, he sounds like my old basketball coach. We gonna put him to work. But see, with my basketball coach, he was talking about drills and getting my fundamentals up. With this man, he's talking about your life. He's talking about you going to prison and being a fucking prison workhorse for the rest of your life. That's what your life means now. That's what your life means now. Your life is nothing but you being a prison workhorse because of your dumbass decisions.
We have that. So we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them.
This video probably going to be long as hell.
Do the work.
And that's what makes this situation feel so dark. Because this wasn't somebody with no opportunities. This wasn't somebody who seemingly had nobody around him, who actually cared about him. And yet, despite all that, he still threw away his entire life for nothing. I think so many things can be said about this particular case, but the biggest thing is probably how terrifying it is to watch somebody throw away a life full of opportunity, all because they were chasing an identity that never theirs to begin with.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new here. My name is Blackie Speaks. Nice to meet you.
Shout out to Blackie Speaks for this video. Yeah, I don't feel bad for bro. Like he deserves all of this. Like, period. You play dumbass games, you win stupid ass prizes. But to everybody watching this, be a leader and not a follower. Do not follow people like this. Do not follow and try to be like some street niggas or be like this person or be like that person, because these situations, like, bro, it'll get you killed. It'll get you in jail, you know? Some of these situations you might get scrutiny for. Like, bro, do not follow these people. Be a leader in your own life. This is the one life that you have to live. And you're telling me you're gonna use it to follow somebody else? To look good in somebody else's story? Fuck no. Hell no. I'm not on none of that. And I don't want any of you guys to be on any of that either. So I hope y'all got some lessons from this video. Don't end up like Sean Gathright. And I mean that in a micro sense, in a macro sense. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all so much. Marso Mafia the game. Marso Mob the squad. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Peace.